So this morning we're talking about a program that helps men and women build better relationships and succeed in the workplace. This is called Reciprocal Mentoring Lab, and joining us is the CEO and founder of Greatheart Consulting, Chuck Shelton. Thanks for joining us this morning on a Sunday. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian.
Let's talk about what Reciprocal Mentoring Lab is all about. What is it?
So it's a program that brings high-performing mentoring pairs, men and women, together. The two problems we're trying to solve are many companies have moved women into director-level, senior jobs, but women are choosing not to stay, or they're not rising into senior jobs. So they need sponsorship from their mentors. And we're also finding in this Me Too era, there are many men working to become more inclusive leaders. So we're working to solve both problems.
Trying to get both genders really more
Absolutely, that's the reciprocal part.
How bare bones, like how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, so the mentoring pairs work together. It's built around a 2-day lab where we have 30 to 40 mentoring pairs from different companies coming together with a faculty to work on what mentoring looks like and how to build a stronger relationship to move people up and to build stronger inclusive skills.
So they're both just working together side by side, learning each other's skills.
Yeah, and the reciprocity part is that while there's a formal senior-junior structure to a mentoring relationship in which typically it's the man who's the mentor, or though there are senior women who may be mentoring men as well, the point is that the two-way street. It's about mutual exchange of value, so everybody is getting better and finding new career options.
Absolutely. Seattle, obviously known for being a tech hub. And why is it important for specifically tech companies to learn about RML?
So in the last few years, technology companies in particular have taken the chance to publish their employment data. And in many cases, I think the hope was if they were transparent, it would improve the result. The reality is that in many cases, there are less women moving into senior leadership now than there were 3 or 4 years ago. So there's a pretty severe challenge to make sure that as more women come into the workplace, they also rise into senior roles. And like I said, at this point, there are also many of us as men are thinking through, I want to make sure that my relationships are having the impact that I want them to in the workplace. And this is a great time for us as men to think about building strong relationships of collaboration with women.
For sure. I'm curious to know how long you've been working in inclusive leadership, and what have you noticed throughout that time since you've been working on this?
Yeah, so I actually got involved with this growing up in Seattle 40 years ago, so I've been doing it a long time, the connection between leadership development and diversity and inclusion. And I'd say right now we live in pretty galvanized times. Differences are often dividing us. And so there's a real appetite among many people to say, how do we take diversity and inclusion and make it for all of us, which is inviting people from majority communities to step up and say, I need to learn how to do this too.
You talked about it a little bit earlier, but I kind of want you to delve a little bit deeper. But what can men specifically do in leadership roles, when they're in leadership roles, do to sponsor women on their teams?
So I think it really boils down to being clear about what you want to achieve in the business or in the organization, and recognizing that talent comes in every group. One of the things we see with clients is saying, well, what's the market availability, of talent in each group? So in technology companies, for example, they're saying there are more women available to be successful than we currently have in place. So they have to pay attention to the success of the company, both in terms of who's working there, their talent, but also who's buying their products and services.
And bottom line, I mean, it's so important just to have both genders really working together and collaborate to build more leadership, would you say?
Yeah, and I'd say one of the things that's a real learning curve right now is that many men are wondering about the risks and challenges of building strong collaborative relationships. And this is the best opportunity ever for us to be seen as being people who collaborate well with women. It's a real career advantage for men to be stepping up and learning how to do this.
For sure. So for those, lastly, who are interested in learning about RML, how do you find out more information?
So you'll be shocked to find out we have a website, reciprocalmentoringlab.com, and we have an event coming up in September here in Seattle that people can enroll in.
Okay. Fantastic. Thanks for joining us, Chuck Shelton,
Thanks so much, Brian.
founder, CEO of Greatheart Consulting. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.